And good morning, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. I do hope you're having the best day ever. And you can tell I have a little different angle here because my son Adrian is changing the way I do things yet one more time on the 2-minute Tom Talks because I'm doing something wrong and I look bad or something. So this is the new look. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm kind of posed in this thing. If you wonder who the guy over my shoulder is, I've told you before, that's the guy who is in my life that keeps me honest every day. That is my conscience over my shoulder right there. That guy is an old homeless guy that lived in Longmont, Colorado. I loved him, and an artist came to town, painted him. I bought the painting because it just reminds me every day of where I was headed, and it also reminds me of where I don't want to go back to. And it also reminds me that I'm not half as hip, slick, and cool as my paycheck's trying to tell me I am. Hello, Louise, Adrian, I love you, and good morning. And so, yeah, Tom Brady, what about this guy? You know, I think about all the areas that I've let slip in my life. And I was watching this guy over the weekend because he's not a lot younger than me. I mean, you know, he's a few years, but not a ton. Hello, Connie O'Neill. And as a result of that, I'm looking at this guy going, this guy is just impeccable in everything he does. His drive, his nutrition, his commitment to his family, his work ethic. Hello, Brian Baum. Everything he does is at the highest possible level. And I'm thinking about that going, that's how I want to be when I grow up. And I think about where I'm impeccable. Hello, Kay Wicks. And where I'm impeccable is maybe in my contact mapping, because I'm so obsessed with that. I'm impeccable in my interviews. Hello, Wayne Bird. I'm impeccable. Hello, Stephanie Oden. I'm impeccable in my follow-ups. I'm impeccable in that whole world. So why can't I move that over and be impeccable in every area of my life? Brady talks about no sugar. He talks about no gluten. And I'm completely committed to that. I mean, I know I could be better, so much better at that. I'm never going to ever be in the fit condition that he's in, but I could sure pick that up, Jen Velasic, and get better at it every day and just turn in to somebody that I want to emulate like him. So I thought about that a lot. And I thought, okay, my marriage, am I really honoring Denise and the kids the way I want to every day? Probably not as high a level as I could. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, Jen Velasic. So then I'm going to step that up a little bit. I'm going to step my exercise and my movement up. Denise and I were talking about that. I am going to step up the flossing because I know it's something I need to do twice a day. But I got to thinking about impeccable. And when impeccable showed up for me, this is what showed up. I can get better in so many areas instead of literally phoning it in. And in business, obviously, that's what we all strive to do. So I'm going to leave that one alone, Dottie Dorton, because I know that all of us want to do that. But over and above that, where else do you want to get impeccable? And I want you to think about it for you. Where are you going to be impeccable? So what did I talk about? I talked about contact mapping. I talked about diet. I talked about marriage. I talked about exercise. I talked about flossing. Because those all crossed my mind as I was pondering. The commitment of Brady made me absolutely in awe. Because I got to get better. I used to be a whole lot better. And I let myself slip. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm on a run. So I just want you guys to think about that in your life today too. Where can you be a tiny bit more impeccable? And that, take that for a ride. Take it for a ride and see if that's what you want to do. And it's so easy. Maybe being a better friend and cutting people a little more slack. Maybe that's another one I can do as I think about it. Because I get so intense that I just suck energy out of everybody and I all want them to do what I want them to do. So whatever it is, I love all of you for watching. You are the greatest. And thank you all for being you.